They did have a signing on the defensive side of the ball. Safety Damontae Kazee, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. This will be his sixth year. He previously was in Atlanta for 4 years, Dallas for 1. Led the league in interceptions in 2018. He had 7 during the regular season.
How about that?
Yeah, absolutely. He gets some picks, man. 7 in 2018. He had an additional 3 in 2019, and then he had 2 last year with Dallas. Started 15 games last year for them out of the 17 that they played in. I mean, outside of 2020, where he was, we missed a lot of time through injury. Other than that, this dude has pretty much started all the games that he's been in outside of his rookie year. Like, and he came in as a 5th round pick out of San Diego State, if I remember correctly. But yeah, man. Who are your thoughts on him initially, baby?
Another great signing by Kevin Colbert and the Pittsburgh Steelers. 1 year contract. There's no way the number is going to be more than like $2 million.
What if it was 2.5, bro?
I don't care. I'm not going to care about that.
I was like,
that'll be interesting, though.
Yeah. What does he sign for? If Edmonds signed for 2.5, what does he sign for? Yeah.
What's interesting is he signed a cheap-ass contract to go to Dallas last year. And you're right. Almost started every game. Played a significant amount. And I think his
excuse me,
details, I think it was like $1 million. I think it was a little bit over $1 million. So I cannot expect it to be more than 2.
Right.
But if it is 2.5, and does that mean just open competition between him and Terrell?
I would 1,000% say so if that number is 2.5.
But he seems really versatile. So right now with Edmonds coming back, we've got to assume it's going to be Minka, Edmonds, free safety, strong safety. But as we talked about with Cam Sutton playing slot, I don't know if I want him in there for running downs or times we think the other team's going to run the ball. We need someone that's going to be a little more physical. You could talk about Arthur Millette, but is his name Kazee or Kazee?
I don't know.
I think I'm going to go with Kazee.
Hey man, you probably checked it out. Yeah.
Well, that was what one announcer said.
I don't like video. I just like to when I'm watching the tape, I always have it muted. So yeah.
That's what one announcer said. So I will go with that.
Yeah, because see, I looked at it
I might be wrong. Maybe he was wrong.
Kazee. Like I was thinking
Kazee.
that's what I was like.
It's easier to say Kazee.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'll give my best efforts to pronounce his name throughout this podcast. But anyway, with Kazee, one, he's versatile.
Or should we both say it both ways so that way we're covered either way?
Yeah, I'll say it my way, or at least I'll do my best.
Yeah, I'll just rotate. I'll say Kazee and I'll say Kazee. I just throw both of them out there.
Works for me. Kazee looks like he's pretty physical, also versatile, could play the traditional safety spots, also has done some slot corner. For me, it's just going to be interesting. It's almost like the wide receiver position on defense now with like this slot corner hybrid role, because for receiver, we have what now? Pickens, Anthony Miller, Boykin, Austin, Cody. Like, who's going to get cut? Now I'm starting to think the same way for like slot corner hybrid, because Millette, Trey Norwood, Cam Sutton, Kazee. Who am I missing? There's got to be one more. There's one more I'm missing. Did I say Millette?
You already said him. Oh, man.
I saw Millette, Norwood, Cam Sutton, Kazee, Carl Joseph.
Oh, yeah.
So there's 5 guys right there.
Yeah.
There's 5 guys.
That's a lot of mouths for one position. Yeah.
I don't know if that's necessarily just one position, but I think all that
role though.
All those guys can play that role. I don't think there's a downside to the signing. Really, I mean, dude has starters experience, led the league in picks, so he's a ball hawk, can make some splash plays, and we kind of need that. I mean, we've been doing better over these past few years, but there was a stretch like from mid 2010s where we weren't getting any turnovers. We were doing good at like getting pressure on the quarterback, getting sacks. But yeah, this can only help us, I think, and the contract's going to be cheap. What's the downside?
Yeah, I mean, I like Damontae a lot. I think that he's definitely going to help out this defense. Gives you a little bit more versatility because he is a guy that can play multiple positions, like you talked about. He's super athletic, and it's funny, man. Like, he has good ball skills, but at the same time, he had like some of those opportunistic, just Johnny on the spot interceptions as well. I'm just like, bro,
the ones that are just falling into his hands.
I'm like, yo, I don't know.
Kind of like Minka in 2019.
I don't know how lucky you are, but dude, that's what it definitely felt like at times. I'm like, yo, you are just right place, right time, every time. Like, it was nuts, man. It was nuts to watch that. But I definitely think that, you know, he's a good tackler. I think that across the board, he plays the way that you want the game to be played. And that is why he started so many games, whether he was in Atlanta and then obviously in Dallas. I like the fact that he started under Dan Quinn as well. It's a DC that I definitely respect. I think that, you know, he knows his stuff. So if you're going to play for him it's certain guys. It's like, all right, we respect it. We know what that looks like. We know what caliber of player, their mindset at least. So I definitely like that about Damontae. But yeah, it's not a lot of negative about it. I think that regardless of what the numbers are on the deal, because Edmonds only signed for 2.5, I do expect it to be a competition. I think personally right now, Edmonds has the inside track because he's homegrown. But if Damontae comes out here and he's balling out, he's getting those turnovers, whether they're opportunistic or he's actually making great reads and great plays, I do think he could very well unseat Edmonds, and it would not be a surprise either way. I understand that Edmonds is a first round pick and this dude is a 5th round pick, but at this stage in both of their careers, draft status really doesn't matter the same way when you're looking at the financials.
A lot of games and have been productive. That's what you could say about both of them.
And like I said, at this stage, when you throw in both of them playing multiple games, production, starters as well, now you start looking at the money and you're saying, okay, money wise, you don't have starter money. Your money is like nice money, but it's not above reproach starter money in terms of Edmonds. I think that this is definitely just another position that's going to get interesting now for us. No different how we're excited to watch the quarterback battle play out. Same, we're interested to see how the interior offensive line situation plays out. We're going to be looking at this safety spot the same way with Edmonds now and Damontae, man. So I'm definitely excited about that.
Oh, interesting. Mm-hmm. So you see him maybe a strong safety.
I think
because he could do the Minka role too if you want to bump Minka down, right?
Do you think Minka's coming off the field?
No, what I'm saying is he's done some just like single high free safety stuff too, right?
But what I'm saying is at the same time, Edmonds does that.
No, I'm
well
saying bump Minka down to like nickel for a player or two, something like that.
What if we're talking like one-offs or specialized packages? Sure, but I'm talking in the sense of the guy. Like when we talk about Edmonds, we know we'll move Minka around and we might even bring an extra safety out there. But Minka's not coming off that field. And throughout all of last year, Edmonds stayed on the field. But what I'm saying is it could be a scenario where Damontae beats out Edmonds. And now Edmonds is that guy that comes in for certain packages when we want to move Minka around. That's what I'm saying, solely because of how the money is situated right now. It could very well get to that because Kazee has played that position as well. And we do use Edmonds in similar capacities where it's like, we want Minka to go down here and sit in the box, read the QB, jump routes. Edmonds usually in the middle of the field. So it's going to put him in one of those positions like that, man. So that's the part for me where I'm just like, all right, let's see what it looks like, man.
That is interesting because that wasn't really on my radar. Mm-hmm. I was just assuming Edmonds back, this guy's contract. Maybe it is close to Edmonds.
It can't, like I said, it can't be more than $2 million, right?
But it is probably on the cheaper side. Yeah. I was just like, man, they're still going to roll with just the Edmonds-Minka combo. I thought he was going to be more in competition for that versatile role that I was talking about. Mm-hmm. But if that's the case, are we throwing Carl Joseph? Is it a 3-way competition for that strong safety?
What did I say when we brought back Edmonds for 2.5? Before we even talked to TG, I was like, yo, I think that Carl Joseph still is in this thing. I think that Edmonds has the leg up on all of them because he's been the starter here. He's the most familiar here. He's the former first round pick here. But because he signed for $2.5 million, that is not enough to make them say we're not going to pull you off that starting lineup if they got somebody that they are more excited about or somebody that they feel has beat you out. 2.5, that's just not enough money to make it a non-debatable.
It's weird to hear.
Right. But that's why I was so shocked when he signed for the 2.5. I'm like, bro, you needed at least 4.
Do the Steelers view Edmonds worse than we do?
Bro, I don't know. I don't know. Because my thing is this, if they sign up for 4 is, yo, you're starting this year. We might not view you as the long-term answer, but you're the starter this year. 2.5 is if you're starting, great, but we don't mind you being a backup. And depending on how much dead money we have, we probably won't even be, tripping if we had to go ahead and release you or move you. That's what the 2.5 range is. That's not guaranteed. You got to prove that in a sense, man. So that's why I do think that Damontae is still going to be in that conversation, man. And it's looking like they're saying the contract is 1.1875 million.
Okay.
I like when they start throwing all the extra numbers at the end. Just give me the 1.1. I like it though.
So we both agree Edmonds is the front runner for sure. And then obviously we just seen the contract. Now if it would have been 2.5.
It'd have been 2.5.
Maybe you're turning a side eye or something. Right. But
I just think Edmonds has lead position. I think he is at number 1 right now. I would say Carl at 2 solely because he was on the roster last year. But Kazee is 3rd and he's definitely I would say 2B. I would say if Carl is 2A because he was in the system, Kazee is 2B because he's still a starter. He's still coming off of a productive season. Absolutely. So that's the only difference. Just one guy has been in the system for a year because Carl was on practice squad at the end of last season, and one guy has not. One guy's just new to the team. But other than that, it's not a lot separating them dudes. I'd be interested to see also what was Carl's money, because I know he was a vet minimum, but at this stage
probably
in his career, how
like
far
$1 million,
off is
right?
Like it's either $1 million or he's at 800. He's got to be in that capacity though.
I'll check. So not only will Kazee and Joseph be competing, tell me if I'm right or wrong on this. They'll be competing for that other safety spot, but also could they be competing for that like kind of slot corner role too? In
a sense, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. So it's gonna be interesting. I don't see Trey Norwood. Or, obviously he's probably the only one out of those slot corners that would even be in consideration for like a safety role. But I don't even see that just because of his size. Because Mollett and Cam Sutton, obviously, they're just going to be like slot guys for us.
Yeah.
All right, so let me check this contract real quick.
All right, let's see what my man Carl Joseph.
1.
So yeah, him and Kazee or Kazee, however we're going to be pronouncing it.
1 year, $1,035,000.
Same money.
That's right. A little bit of an edge to Kazee. A little bit. Slight edge. No, how could you hate the signing, though? There's nothing wrong with it. We were talking about having safety depth. Would you rather have him or a safety that we draft in the 3rd round?
Oh, all right. I'm with you, man. Give me the proven commodity, man.
Yeah.
Give me the proven commodity.
Exactly. And it's not like he only proved it back in, what was it, 2018 when he led the league in sacks?
Or was it 17?
17, or not sacks, interceptions. Nah, he played pretty good for the Cowboys last year, too.
It was 18, excuse me. 17 was rookie year.
Was it 18?
Yeah.
He had 7 picks in 18, yeah.
Yep, and then followed up with 3 that next year.
Yeah, he's productive for the Cowboys last year, too. So it's not like that was way in the past and we're just taking a flyer. Nah, I think he's a good player.